Hello friends, today I am going to show you how we can create a TwinCAT3 application with Opc Ui Server, and we can access the tags of that application with Ignition SCADA. So let's start. So for this application, presently I am using a TwinCAT version 3.1.4024.12. Okay, so this is my TwinCAT version, and for Ignition SCADA I am using 8.1. so this application is already installed on my laptop. Okay, so we'll start with creating an application. So we'll create a new project. The name of the new project is TwinCAT project 2, and this is the storage location. We'll create a PLC project, so we'll name it Opc Ui PLC. Now we'll create some global variables. You can give any name to your global variable list. So basically in this project I'm going to create some 4 variables. So first will be start push button, which is nothing but a boolean variable with initial value false. Int this is the second variable, encounter 2 integer 0. Now so this is going to be a string with initial value null. Now I have created this 4 variable. If I want to access this variable or Opc Ui, then I need to add some lines of code by saying opc.ua.da then 1. So whatever the number of variables you want to access over Opc Ui, for those variables you have to add this line of a code. Okay, so I have inserted 4 lines, 1, 2, 3 and 4 for these 4 variables. Okay, now the second thing you will have to do, don't forget to check this option. So this is directly linked with your Opc Ui server. So with this file it can access the variable or the Opc Ui. So this is the list of global variable you have created. Now we'll start writing the code. Sorry, I forgot to delete this part. Okay, because otherwise I will have to write the opc ua dot b start. So instead of that, I'm just counter 1 1 0. Sorry, there is some typo error. Now for the if condition, I've written the code. Now for the else condition, I'm going to increment the second counter, which is nothing but n counter 2. This is, and the n counter 1, the counter 1 value will be reset back to 0. And this is supposed to be a counter 1. So as you can clearly understand this logic, when this start button will be activated, the counter 1 will start incrementing, the counter 2 will remain 0, and when the counter 1 value is greater than equal to 32,000, it will reset back to 0, and this display string will show you the value counter 1 is running. And when this start button is off, this section will be executed. So the counter 2 will increment it, counter 1 will reset back to 0. When the counter 2 value is greater than 32,000, it will again reset back to 0, and the string will display the counter 2 is running. Okay. Now I'll just compile my project. Just to make sure there will not be any syntax error in my code. So presently I'm not having any errors over here. Now the next thing you will have to do is to add a new project. Now this module will be there, TwinCAT connectivity. So this will enable your Opc Ui communication. So now this module is activated. To install this module, you will have to make sure you have to enable the security for this one. That the next step you will have to do is now this is what the syntax or the server URL, you can say opc.tcp colon backslash localhost 4840. So 4840 is the port number, and the localhost is, this application is running on my laptop, so that's the reason I have the localhost. If it is running on your specially PLC with a dedicated network interfacing card, so you must assign the IP address of your network interfacing card over here instead of the localhost. Okay, so now I'll hit okay. So we'll make sure there should be a true. Okay, then the next thing, you will have to select this one, and as you can see, this is supposed to be green. If it is not green, reject. Make sure that you should put this location into the task list. Okay, now it's time to download our project. The next thing you have to do to log on to your Ignition SCADA account with your user credentials. The second thing, you will have to create the Opc Ui server. So go to the configuration, create new Opc Ui configuration, select Opc Ui. Then here you will have to mention opc.tcp localhost. So because this application is running on my local PC, so that's why if it is running on some other PC, and you will have to make sure this has to be replaced with the IP address of your network interfacing card where the application is running. I'll say finish, create a new configuration. Now if you want to see whether the application has been configured properly or not, you can see the variables are already there, so you can read the variables also. As you can see, we are getting a value over here. Now the next thing you will have to do is you will have to launch the designer for Ignition SCADA. Okay, now here I have already created an application with this name, so I'll open this. Sometimes it's take a lot of time to open such application. It depends on your laptop configuration, how much RAM you have, and the speed, everything that really matters. Because there are a lot of modules are getting associated with this project, like perspective workstation, vision, SFC, everything. It will check for those modules and then it will open the application. Now here is our application is open. The first thing we'll do is we'll create, for this application we're gonna use only the visions kind, we are not using the perspective workstation screens. So here the first thing, I will create a screen 1. Now the second task, I have to create the Opc tags. So as you can see, this is the address of our Opc server, which is nothing but our TwinCAT3 application. So if you go to the PLC1 in our application, as you can see, this is where the PLC1 got created. Okay, and this is the tags what we have created in our global variable list. So I'll just create one folder TwinCAT3. Okay, and I will add this, sorry, my bad. I will add this folder under the TwinCAT3 folder, so the list of folders will be created. Okay, so I'll hit apply and okay. Now the next thing I will do, I'll go to control, I'll create the push button, which is the maintain to state push button. The next thing will be the counter 1 value, so I'm going to create the LED display for counter 1. This is the LED display for counter 2. As you can see right over here, we are already started getting the updated values, and this string will be declared as a displayed as a label. Okay, now as you can see over here, we are providing the full read write gateway communication to be allowed, so that the values can be read and write from this application directly. As you can see, let's keep on changing the value as well. So normally whatever the tags we have configured right over here, those tags are going underneath the default tag browser. If you want to change the properties of the default tag browser, you can have the access over here. So the default rate is 10,000 milliseconds, which is nothing but a 10 seconds. So I changed it to 10 right now. So 10 within every 10 milliseconds the value will be updated, and I can see the update over here. Now if I'll have to launch my project, as you can see, the values are also changing. Now the counter 1 has started and the start button is true. If I'll switch it off, the counter 2 will start incrementing. Okay, so this is now we can communicate our TwinCAT3 application with OPC server tags with our Ignition SCADA application. So I hope you will like this video, and please help me to have your comment with your comments and suggestion. Okay, thank you.